The group Action Against Hunger has come up with a simple solution to deal with malnutrition. Many of the children they work with in the huge Dadaab refugee camp in Kenya are malnourished, in spite of all the food aid coming into the camp. That's because the rations consist of only basic food stuff, like beans, sugar, and maize. There's not a green vegetable in sight, so the kids don't get vitamin A, E, or iron, all of which they need to stay healthy. But that's changing now because of this new program. Silke Peach from Action Against Hunger joins me now to explain.
The refugee camps, you have to imagine like a little town. So you have little marketplaces within those camps, which are providing lots of basic essentials like soap or matches or cigarettes. There's some food products and there's some fresh food. Not much. At the beginning of the program, for instance, there was very, very little supply of fresh foods. But outside of the Dadaab camps, there's a town which is called Dadaab Town. And they have a much bigger market where a lot of fresh foods is as well available.
So the food's outside the camp, but the farmers don't want to go to the effort to bring it in because the refugees don't have any purchasing power.
Exactly. So the solution we found to facilitate basically the link was to provide those families with malnourished children with a food voucher, with a fresh food voucher. It's like a food ticket or a food token, for instance. So those families received them through the nutrition program, which is on the ground for the treatment, direct treatment of those very malnourished children. And then those caretakers or mothers would be able to go to the local markets in the camps and exchange those vouchers with traders which were contracted for the program to provide fruits and vegetables, for instance, and milk and eggs.
This sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah. It's very straightforward. It's like monopoly money facilitating the access or the ability for the family to access exactly those fresh foods which they need. It's very simple.
How many children are now getting fed through these vouchers?
Until earlier this year, we had about 65,000 children in the year and a half before that date the program was running.
And how is it working?
It's working excellently. I mean, linked to those vouchers, we have education sessions on nutrition, on hygiene, on food preparation. We have cooking sessions with those mothers. We had a couple of families and husbands coming to the program to receive the vouchers, and they were telling us they have arguments at home of who should be going to these sessions because everybody's so interested in them.
You mean even the men want to come?
Yeah. The husbands wanted to come and learn. So it was a whole kind of community action in those camps. And everybody loves it. The community is very, very happy. We see an impact on the health and the nutritional status of the children.
Tell me about the impact. What's happened to the children as a result of having access to this fresh food through the vouchers?
What basically happens is that through a diversified diet, their nutritional status is much improved. They're not as easily getting sick, and hence they don't need to come back to that nutrition program all the time. So they're much more lively. They're less a burden for the whole family as well. They're better able to go to school and follow education as well. So the whole family is much better off.
Silke Peach is with Action Against Hunger. Silke, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're most welcome, Peggy.
The food voucher program in the Dadaab camp is funded by the French Embassy in Nairobi.